Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to our channel. And thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stumbling by, and thank you for subscribing and actually getting to the notification to stop by. Whichever category you are in. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I guess, if you don't know who we are, if you're trying to understand what's the point of this channel, make sure you go back to our intro video, which gives you a good summary of who we are. Now, I think one thing we all like to agree on at the start of the year is setting goals. So let's get right to it and talk about setting financial goals. And it's not just me telling you to set goals, but how can you actually set practical, workable goals for this new year? Now, as we all know, 2020 has really been a tough year. So, how should we be looking at goal setting in this new year? Goals, like I would like to define, is you looking at a certain signpost that you would like to get to. I guess target is another way of looking at a goal. Now, I want to focus more on financial goals because I feel like a lot of us set a certain level of financial goal at the start of the year. It could sometimes it could just be something small in your head and just say, "Oh, I'd like to save better." But again, sometimes we don't achieve it, and I think that's what we would like to tackle in this chat on this video and in this channel as time goes on. Again, as we promised you, we're not going to use big terminologies. We're going to use simple, practical, relatable terms to help you understand. Now, I define goals as a signpost, a target that you're hoping to get to. But how can you in 2021 or whatever year you're watching this video have significant and tangible, workable goals? I know it's a cliche. You often hear people talk about SMART goals and you're thinking, oh, SMART goals. But actually, that's what makes a goal work. If you don't set a goal that is specific, you're just going to be wandering in the dark. If your goal is not measurable, how would you know that you've achieved your target? If your goal is not achievable, I'm going to say you're just wasting time. Basically, you're building castles in the air. If your goal is not realistic, come on. And if your goal is not time bound, then I have to say it's not a goal. Why do I say all these things? Imagine a game of football where the 22 men, oh, let's even go back. Let's even not make it as specific as that. Imagine a game of football where two teams or three teams are playing. One team has 10 men, another has 5, another has 3. The game automatically becomes confusing, right? Because there isn't a set standard and they all decide, oh, we just play till forever. I guess what then makes, how do you then measure success in that way? That's exactly what a goal is. A goal needs to be specific. Going back to my football example, you have 11 men playing for 2 different teams on a football pitch measured to a set standard and size. The goal of a football game is that one team scores more goals than the other to be declared the winner. How do you know that you've scored the goal? You need to put the balls through the goalpost. The goalpost is a set structure clearly indicated on the football pitch. Without those things, you won't have a clear target. If you're not a football fan, let's talk about basketball. You have a tall, round ring or a netball in the middle of a field or at the edge of each team's side where you have to put the ball through. Whatever case it is, there is time bound. You need to achieve this set of objectives within the time laid out by the rule of the sport. And that's exactly what financial goals are. Don't get me wrong, your goals sometimes could be 5 years. Again, as we shed more light and talk about more practical things in all of our videos to come, we will talk about long-term financial goals like you're getting married, you want to buy a house, and so on. But when we're talking, whatever situation we're talking about for financial goals, you need to have time. You need to be time bound. If not, you're just going to be doing things randomly. You need to be specific. Do I want to reduce my debt? Do I want to save better? Do I want to save more? Sometimes I would challenge you, be a bit more specific than that. I'd like to clear all of my debt. I would like to save 20% of my income. Because when you have those measurable goals, it refocuses your mind directly or indirectly for you to think about real practical ways to achieve those goals. Your goals, of course, need to be realistic. If you earn £100 a month and your bills are £80, I'm talking about your bills without food, it is unrealistic to probably set a money or saving goal. You need to be realistic because Once you're disappointed too many times, you will get discouraged from setting your goals. Personal experience, and I'm sure a lot of you can also relate to me saying that when you fail too many times, you get too scared to try and you don't want to do it again. So, how can you plan better for your goals this year? How can you practically make those goals for you? Whatever your goals are this year, I'd like you to take a pause, think through them, and make sure they are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. But actually, there's one more thing I'd like to add: accountability. I know this is something we often shy away in this world because we don't want to feel like we're revealing ourselves. A perfect example, though you might not agree, is WhatsApp versus Signal. We all don't want to be on WhatsApp because of a new privacy policy. But that's exactly what accountability does for you. And accountability goes a long way in helping you achieve your goal. You can be accountable to someone that you genuinely trust. And accountability can take different lights. Again, I told you that this is going to be very, very practical. I'll take example, myself and my siblings. How do we help ourselves achieve money saving goals? Simple things like I send money to them or they send money to me to save. For you to get your money back, you need to give me a valid reason why you want to touch your savings. As time goes on, you become a bit more independent and more disciplined to keep your money on yourself. That's one form of accountability. Another form of accountability is dealing with the root cause. For example, whether it's debt, you just have an impulse to spend. You can have someone who you're accountable to, and when you get an impulse to spend, the person can keep you in check. But accountability is very key, especially when you're starting out in setting a financial goal. It doesn't always work for everyone because as time goes on, you become a bit more independent. But if this is your first time wanting to set real, practical, workable, deliverable goals, I would say get you an accountability partner, someone to keep you in check and someone that you can tell your progress. I hope you found this video useful and I hope you feel empowered, ready to set your goals. I hope you can think through it clearly and make sure that you are setting goals that you can be proud of at the end of the year. Can I add one tip for you? A lot of the times, especially with money, you'll actually never achieve 100% of a goal. Don't get me wrong, don't let this discourage you from setting goals. But unfortunately, the thing with money is things happen in life. Bills to be paid, you crash your car, something happens. And so you probably have to dip into things that you never know. But again, we will tackle ways to try and prevent that from happening because there's something called an emergency fund. But hopefully you continue to join us on our journey as we give you more real, practical ways for you to be a better version of yourself. Thank you again for joining us. Don't forget to tell your friends to check us out. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, comment. Send us questions and let us know what direction you want us to go. Take care. Bye.